Maybe this would be helpful in case you're curious of some holiday releases, as most of the time they are limited edition. So if you guys would like to see me try on and give you guys my first impression of some holiday releases, then please keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's just get started. So the first holiday limited edition kit that I picked up was from Sephora, and this is the Laneige Sleep and Glow set. This comes in a 3-piece. It comes with the water sleeping mask, the lip sleeping mask, and then it comes with this moisture cream. So here it is, and this does retail for $39, if you can see up here, but this is a retail price of $52 US. So what I really like about this set is, first of all, I already have the sleeping mask that I'm almost done, and I love this, especially during winter, because I do have dry skin, so my skin gets really dry. But what I really wanted to try out was this Laneige lip sleeping mask, because I hear so many good things about it, and I have super dry skin, so my lips are even more dry, especially during this season, this transition season to fall and winter. So I really needed something to help kind of combat that dryness, and I did already try the sleeping mask a few days, and I already noticed a difference, like almost immediately the next day. So I really do like it. The only thing is I don't really care for the scent. It's scented, it's like very sweet and rosy, versus I love the water sleeping mask because like I said, I love it if you feel like the next day your face is already moisturized, but I love that it's more like a cream and it doesn't really have a scent. So I wish that the sleeping mask didn't have a scent as well, because I don't really care for it. But other than that, guys, yeah, I haven't tried the moisture cream yet, but this is one of the holiday kits that I did pick up. Alright guys, so the next item I did pick up was this Wet n Wild brush set, and I am so excited. This is, I believe, only exclusive to Walgreens. It does retail for $30, but it is a $90 US value, which I'm so excited because every year when Wet n Wild comes out with like their limited edition winter holiday brush kit, I'm always excited. I always think about picking it up, and then by the time I know it, it's all sold out. It sells out really quick, especially because it's usually exclusive to only certain retailers. And I did end up picking this up, like I said, directly from Walgreens for $30, and I'm so excited. I'm going to try it on camera with you guys today. And the thing about it is I don't have any Wet n Wild brushes, so I really don't have like a preconceived like opinion about any of it. I did already open up and just looked at it because I was just so excited. But I'm so excited. I'm going to be trying this on with you guys today. It does come with 10 different brush sets. It comes with face and eye brushes, so I think you can pretty much get a really complete look with this. So I'm going to go ahead and just start off with the brush set today. So I just wanted to read off what are the different 10 brushes that you get in here. So you get one shader eye brush, one taper blending brush, one flat contour brush, one flat foundation brush, one large powder brush, one blush brush, one fan brush, one tapered highlighting brush, one fluffy blending brush, and one concealer brush. So those are the different brushes you get in here. So I'm going to try my best to use all of it today. Right, and here are the different brushes. They are so beautiful. And I don't know if you guys can see on camera, it doesn't look like the color's picking up that well, just a tad bit, but it's really ombre-ed. The top is more like that light kind of, it looks like it hits a hint of like that blushy pink, and it actually ombres down to like a silver down here, and I love it. It's so luxurious, it's so beautiful. The actual bristles are actually white. So the first brush I'm using today is the flat foundation brush, and I love using these like flat top like kabuki style brushes for foundation. It does give like a fuller coverage. It feels really soft. I really like it. So yeah, I'm going to use this today. And I'm going to use my Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the shade 220, in case you're curious. Just going to put it right on there, just like I would typically do it. So it does look like I did a really good job. Would I have preferred to be a little bit like bigger, like wider, just so that you have like it covers more surface area? Yes, but I think it did a really good job. The good thing about this is that I don't see any like bristle like brush streak, and it looks pretty good. I mean, so far so good. I think it's really soft, but like I said, the only thing about it is these white brushes. You know, you could definitely tell it's so dirty. Alright, the next brush that I'm going to be using is the concealer brush. This one looks like a flat shader brush. It's just a little bit wider, so it says it's for concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and use this for concealer. I typically don't use brushes for concealer. I typically like to go with like a beauty sponge. But I'm going to go ahead and just try it today. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-New Sculpting Concealer in the shade Light Beige. And then I'm just going to go in with the concealer brush. For the rest of my face, I'm going to go ahead and use my Real Techniques complexion sponge to basically blend out my concealer. Alright, so going back to the concealer brush, I think it did its job. I'm just so used to using like a beauty sponge, like the Real Techniques complexion sponge, that I prefer using a sponge to do concealer, especially blending it out, just because it picks up the excess. I just feel like with this, it kind of has a very thick like coverage, which it does look okay. I'm not saying it does like anything bad or anything. I just feel like I prefer the sponge to do my concealer. But then again, I feel like even if you don't use this for the concealer, like I can still definitely use this to pat any powder all over my eyes, or you know, if I'm packing on a shadow on my eyelid, I definitely can use it for that too. The next brush I'm using is the large powder brush, and I'm just going to use it to set my concealer with like some translucent powder. I know this is typically like a little bit too big, but I'm just still going to use it for that because I typically don't set my entire face with powder. So for powder today, I'm going to use the Cover FX Perfect Setting. So for powder today, I'm going to use the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Translucent Light. And I've been trying this out ever since the Ulta 21 days, and I've been really liking it. Alright guys, so the next holiday release that I picked up was this Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry eyeshadow palette. And to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I was going to pick this up because the colors inside didn't really stand out to me. But I did try the Soft Glam and the Norvina palette, and I just fell in love with the ABH shadows again. So I definitely wanted to try out the Sultry palette. So I did end up picking the Sultry palette up, and I definitely wanted to give this a try. Now, first of all, I love this packaging. It's just so gorgeous. The only thing is it is glitter, so I do notice it like getting all over my fingers. So that's the only one of the things that downfalls to having this type of packaging. It's not the typical like velvet textured packaging that we saw with like Modern Renaissance, Prism, Norvina, and the Soft Glam. So this one definitely is different, but I love it. So beautiful and glammy. And this palette does retail for $45. I believe you can find this at Sephora and now at Ulta and obviously the ABH website. I did actually pick it up from Sephora. So correction, there's 14 eyeshadows in here, and as you can tell, this one has 7 mattes and 7 shimmers, and this definitely leans a little bit more cool, except for those 2 shadows right up here. That definitely is like a pinky and like a camel shade. So the first shadow I'm going to go into is this creamy white shade called Fresh. This one is a matte shade, and I'm going to use the fluffy, what is it? Yeah, so I'm going to use the fluffy blending brush from the Wetnwild set. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up, and I'm just going to put this all over my eyelid. And if you don't know, ABH shadows are a little bit softer, and they do have kickback or create that powder inside the palette. Next, I'm going to go into this very like cool brown shade right here called Twig. And I'm just going to use this as my transition shade. Super pigmented. And I feel like this brush is actually a little bit too big than what I'm used to. It kind of reminds me of the shape of like the Alamar Cosmetics tapered blending brush as well. I typically have like, I have smaller eyelids, so I actually like something a little bit smaller. I feel like this is like a little bit too like fluffy and not as much control. Like I can't control the brush as much. Alright, next I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild. This is like a smaller tapered blending brush. This is called, yeah, so this one's just called tapered blending brush, but this one's a little bit smaller, and it does come like to like it's more narrow. So I think this will be great if you're trying to do like this motion, like kind of like a sweeping motion. Next, I'm going to go into this deep chocolatey brown shade called Dystopian. And I'm going to use, like I said, that Wetnwild taper blending brush. I'm just going to use this kind of motion. Alright, so next I'm actually going to Birch this like matte camel, like very warm camel-y shade right here. And with the same brush, and I'm just going to pick up just a tad. And I'm just gonna kind of blend out the edges. So I did like this brush, this Wetnwild taper blending brush. I just wish that in the set they came with like a little bit smaller one, like a pencil brush or something. Because I typically like to use smaller brushes just because of my eye shape. I just feel like I like to use smaller brushes. So I'm just going to go back into that shade Dystopian with now the ABH dual India brush that came in the set, which always comes with like a fluffy side and then more of like a packing on side. And I'm just going to use the side that has more of like a packing on side. You know, these brushes that come in these sets aren't always my favorite because they're a little bit stiffer and they feel harder. But I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And I'm just going to pack on that shadow on the corner. Next, I'm going to pick up this shimmer shade called Cinder. This one definitely looks like cool brown as well. And I'm going to use from the Wetnwild set the flat eye shader brush. Alright, so it's not applying as great, but with shimmer shades I feel like they typically work better with the finger, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up with my finger. Yeah, so I feel like with this shade, this shimmer shade, it's very, like, it's a drier shimmer formula than I'm used to with ABH. Typically, they're very, like, soft and creamy, and when you push your hand into it, yeah, so much better with the finger. Next, I'm going to pick up this a deeper, like, shimmer brown shade called Ember, and I'm going to pick that up with a different finger. I'm just going to put that on the outer corner with this shade called Pearl. It's so beautiful. It definitely has that like iridescent shade to it, and I'm gonna pick that up with a different finger, and I'm just gonna put that right on top, just dabbing it on that first, what was that shade, that Cinder shade, to kind of just brighten it up just a tad. The only downside to using your finger is you cannot get a precise application. Alright guys, so there definitely is some fallout, especially from those shimmer shades on my cheeks, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to brush that away. And I'm actually going to go back into the same Wetnwild brush, the powder brush, and just brush it away. So I want to go back, I'm actually going to go back into that Dystopian, and I'm pick up just a tad of Noir, just to put it out there, and let's see, oh, maybe I picked up way too much. Right, so for my lower lash line, I'm going to go back into Birch. And I'm just going to put that on my entire lower lash line. And then I'm just going to go back into Dystopian. And I'm just going to deepen the eye look on the lower lash line. Alright, and then I'm just going to go back into Pearl with a small mini round brush from Luxie, and I'm just going to use that as my inner corner highlight. Yeah, so I actually want to pop on Cinder on my lower lash line, and I'm just going to put it right towards the front. Alright, and then that's pretty much it for the Sultry palette. Overall, I do like it. A very similar matte formula. I think the shimmers are actually a little bit different formula compared to the previous palettes. I feel like they're not as creamy and like cushiony, if you know what I mean. Meaning like usually typically they're so creamy that if you dip your finger or brush into it, like it causes like a dent in it wherever you place it, and I actually don't mind this formula. I do like it. Like I said, very similar to a lot of shimmer shades that I've used before. Using it with a finger with shimmer shades is definitely better. Alright, moving next to my holiday release, I picked this Urban Decay Hex Remedy 24/7 Travel Eye Pencil Set. This comes with 5 different colored eye pencils, and this retails for $29. So just in case you've never used these 24/7 Glide-On eye pencils from Urban Decay, they glide on super easy. They don't take a lot of pressure at all, and they're super, super pigmented. This is considered like a travel size, so these aren't the full size. But I think for $29 and for 5 different colors, I think it's worth it. So I'm going to go into like this gold champagne one called Space Dust. Look at that, so pretty. Like that literally took like little to no effort at all, guys. Like it glided on so easily, and look how pretty it is. And it has like glitter in it, so it looks very, very pretty and reflective. I love it. This is very different than what I typically do. Next, I'm going to go into like the deep blue shade called Goddess, and very similar, it does also have like specks of glitter in it as well. And I'm going to do actually my lower lash line. So like I said, this formula is very easy to glide on. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of pressure to force the formula to glide on your skin. With these holiday set, these 4 particular ones, the purple, the more like bronzy, and a blue and champagne one, have those specks of glitter in it, which I feel like is very, very beautiful and very different. If I can open this one. Yeah, so they definitely have glitter in it, which I feel like it's very beautiful and perfect for the holidays. The black one that does come in the set, I feel like it's sort of like a safe, typical one. It's just matte black. Alright, so I just applied some mascara, and then for bronzer today, I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil in the shade Medium Deep. This is their like old packaging. I think they've updated it. And then I'm just going to continue using the Wet n Wild. This is the big powder brush that I used earlier, and I'm just going to use this as for my bronzer today. See how it works. For contour, I'm going to use this Jouer. This is like a duo like bronzing set, and this is the medium and Too Deep duo. And also with the Wet n Wild set, they also had a flat contour brush, so I'm going to use that today. And I'm going to go into the deeper shade and contour with that. So lastly, in the Wet n Wild brush set, there are 2 highlighting brushes. There's a fan brush and the tapered highlighting brush. And I'm going to use both just to kind of give you guys an idea. And then for highlight today, I'm going to use the Jouer, the powder highlight in Skinny Dip. And the other side, I'm going to go in with the fan brush. Alright, so I did not pick up like a holiday release for like a lip kit or anything, but I did receive this Anastasia lip gloss in the shade Kristen, and I received this, I don't know, as like a sample, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. And I've never tried any of these Anastasia lip gloss, so this will be like a first impression for this as well. Alright guys, so just to quickly recap all the items that I picked up for the holiday releases that I used. So the Sultry palette from ABH, I do like the formula, I do like the shadows. I feel like the shadows are definitely leaning a little bit more cool, so if that's not something you like, then you probably won't like this. I love the packaging. I do feel like the glitter is getting all over, but other than that guys, I do like it. Next, the Urban Decay Hex Remedy 24/7 Travel Eye Pencil Set. This is a great formula. I really like it. I like the different shades that come in here, and like I said, these 4 colored ones, not the black one, but the 4 colored ones, the champagne, purple, blue, and like the more like bronzy orange one, definitely have like glitter and shimmer inside it. So like the one that I used today, like the champagne one, it definitely is very reflective. Once light hits it, I do think it's worth it, and it is very like, I feel like perfect for holidays. So lastly, the Wet n Wild 10-piece brush set collection that is exclusive to Walgreens. I think that it is worth it. There's so many brushes, face and eye set. Like I said, if you divide it by 10 different brushes, they are retailing for $3 each, which I feel like is a steal. It's a really great deal. So I really did like them. I think that they're pretty good for the price. I do wish, like I said, instead of having like 2 highlighting brushes, maybe have like a very small pencil brush or a smaller tapered blending brush, just because for me, how I typically do my makeup, I like something a little bit smaller, especially underneath my lower lash line. Like, I just don't feel like you need 2 highlighting brushes. But I guess that's just to give it to those who prefer either a fan brush or the tapered highlighting brush. But other than that, I love it. I think that the quality is very good. I love it. I think if you can get your hands on this, I think it's a great like holiday set. Even if you want to buy it as like a gift set to a makeup lover or someone who's trying to build up their brush collection, I really like it. I'm really glad that I picked it up. Alright guys, so that's it for my video today. I hope that you guys really enjoyed watching it, and I hope that I was helpful in either determining if you should purchase these products, especially these holiday releases that are limited edition. And if I was, then I'm very glad. Other than that guys, I hope you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!